Welcome everyone, I am Bailey and this is how to boost your email open rates in 2025 and beyond. I'm so excited you are here. Just to give you a short background, I'm an email writer for a whole bunch of companies that you probably heard of, like Uber, YouTube, Jeep, Frederic Constant, Citizen Watch Company, Walmart, and many more. Now, today we are going to explore something very interesting. We are going to explore 4 strategies that you can implement in order to boost your open rates in 2025 and many years to come. Let's dive right in. Strategy 1 is crafting compelling subject lines. How do you do that exactly? Well, the first one is length. Length matters. Yes, length matters. Even when it comes to email subject lines, you want to aim for 6 to 10 words in your subject line. This is the optimal size because regardless of what device somebody will be using, if it's a laptop, desktop, a mobile, Windows phones still exist, Android or iOS, 6 to 10 will be that sweet spot. Now, if you do want to use an emoji, you should include that in your length. So for example, use an emoji at the beginning of the subject line and then 7 words to follow. That will be a great subject line. That's the sweet spot. So next, if you can ask a question that you want to link it to some sort of emotion, right? Curiosity, the fear of missing out, something of that nature. So I'll give you an example. Here's a great subject. Are you ready for Boston's exclusive deals? Because first, it creates curiosity. And second, it plays with that fear of missing out. There's an entire city out there that is benefiting from a deal that you're not. So that's a subject line that's twofold. And of course, it's within that 6 to 10 word sweet spot. Next, you want to get personal. It's whatever information you have from your subscriber. So if you have their first name, that's fantastic. You can use that. So going back to that idea of asking a question, if you have the person's first name, you can combine it with asking a question. For example, Billy, are you ready for Boston's deals? Now you want to get personal. What does that mean? You want to use somebody's name. Make sure your landing pages capture at least 2 things. The person's email address and their first name. This way you can combine a person's name with asking a question. I'll give you an example. Bobby, is your dog still barking? Or Timmy, do you really need 20% to buy a home? So again, you're making it personal, but you're hitting that emotion, you're hitting that curiosity, you're hitting that fear of missing out, and it's all combined within a sweet spot, within that 6 to 10 word sweet spot. Next, you can create urgency. Use phrases like 48 hours left to claim this offer. And of course, you can combine it with the personalization. So for example, Timmy, this coupon expires in 6 hours. So you have that urgency, you have that fear of missing out, and you have that personalization, creating a great subject line. And of course, it's short and sweet, it's concise, it's within that 6 to 10 word sweet spot. Next, you want to avoid spam triggers. Things like discount or click here or download now, but place your email in the spam filter. That's the place you do not want to be. So avoid words like that. If you're really not sure if your email subject line is using a spam trigger, place it in the comment section and I'll be able to help you out. Next is you want to split test, A/B split testing. I have seen so many people do this incorrectly. So it's very important to get this right. In order to split test successfully, you want to make very subtle changes. For example, let's say you have a subject line that says this: Billy, your coupon expires in 6 hours. That's subject line B that you can use to test it against subject line A. Will go like this: Billy, your coupon expires in 4 hours. So do you see how that works? You want to make very subtle changes because the subtle changes will lead to a conclusive conclusion. And you're changing too many words in the subject line and testing them against each other, you really don't know concretely what the audience responds to best. And another hint is if you want to test subject lines, sometimes another great hint in regards to testing subject lines is by using emojis. Test them. You can have one subject line that reads, Billy, your offer ends soon. You can have another subject line that reads, Billy, your offer ends soon, with a smiley face at the end. See which one performs best. So now I have a quiz for you, a question, and this one is important. When do you think is the best time to send out an email? Is it on a Monday, on a Friday, or the time doesn't really matter? It's the day of the week that matters most. Well, that's what we're going to talk about now. Strategy number 2 is optimizing send times. Now, studies have shown that the best send times are not only in the morning between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. and in the afternoon between 1 and 2 p.m. But you want to take these studies with a grain of salt. Your audience is better than anybody. So keep on testing different send times. It could very well be that your emails perform when they're deployed best at 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m., somewhere along that range, as opposed to what the studies have concluded. Because remember, these studies did not measure your email list. So one thing I always suggest for my clients is try different time slots. You want to try between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. in the morning, and then 1 to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. See what works best, and then keep on testing different times as well. 30 p.m., 3 p.m., and so forth, to see what works best for your list. But as a standard rule of thumb, you do not want to send out an email on Monday or Friday. People aren't just in a different psychological mode on those days. Next is you want to make sure you are consistent. You want to send emails at a consistent time to make sure your list, your subscribers, are actually expecting the email. This is how TV shows work. For example, let's take a look at Monday Night Raw. I think it's been on the air for 20 years now, and it's coming up on Monday because it actually says Monday in Monday Night Raw. I think they shortened it now and they just call it Raw, but nonetheless started off as Monday Night Raw. So you want to make sure you are consistent. You want to set an expectation. So you can email your subscribers, for example, on a Tuesday, or Tuesday and a Thursday, or Thursday and a Wednesday. Now, here's a great hack. Place the day you will deploy your emails in your landing page. So right when somebody is going to fill out the form and give your email address over to you, or give their email address over to you, I should say, place a little disclaimer. Our emails go out twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. Something of that nature. So that way they have some sort of standard, some sort of expectation. And of course, you can use email clients. Companies such as MailChimp, GetResponse, Active Campaign Monitor, they all have option to deploy an email campaign the best optimal time based on when your subscribers opened emails previously. To just keep on testing everything. Deploy your emails between 10 and 11 a.m., 1 and 2 p.m., 30 p.m., 2:45 p.m. And of course, if your email client has the option to deploy at optimized times, use that just to see if there's any performance difference. Strategy number 3 is segmentation. Yes, separating your list according to different interests. Now, here's a fun fact. Open rates generally increase by 14% when emails have been segmented. And I didn't actually have a graphic that shows 14%. I think showing 50% here or 48%, that's as close as I got. But segmenting lists, but the point is the same. If you segment a list, you will get better open rates. So the question is, how do you segment your lists? Well, one way is interest. A lot of people discount this segmentation, but it's actually very powerful. So if you were to sign up for CNN newsletters, you will find different segmentations based on interest. There's one for politics, there's one for money, there's one for Spanish speakers. Oprah has the same thing. There's one for Oprah Daily Thought and OWN, her TV show, or broadcasting channel, I should say. This means CNN has, I think last time I checked, it was something like 30 different newsletters based on interest. Again, for Spanish speakers, if you're interested in money, if you're interested in politics, and if you're just interested in news. Now, Oprah has, last time I checked, I think it was 9 different email lists, 9 different newsletters. Both CNN and Oprah do a fantastic initiative when it comes to segmenting their lists based on interest. And one of the companies I worked for, which was a magazine, segmented their lists according to food, money, and real estate, because those were the 3 hot topics people were discussing. And you can sign up for which newsletter you held dear. Now, if you're running a smaller newsletter right now, if you have a smaller subscriber list right now, you only figure out what they're truly interested in with time. And then you can separate out your newsletters and segment it based on interest. But it's something definitely to think about in the future. Next is geographic, based on location. Now, email tracking by default is a little less reliable as opposed to social media tracking, because in most cases, email clients work by tracking where a previous email was opened. So if it was opened in Toronto, for example, it will track Toronto. If previous email was opened in Boston, it will track in Boston. It doesn't take into account people that travel. So it is a little less reliable, but still incredibly useful. And if we go back to crafting our subject lines, I'll give you an example of how geography can work. It's a great subject line. Timmy, this deal is for Toronto residents only. So that builds a fear of missing out. That builds urgency. That builds curiosity. And there's a degree of personalization attached to that subject line. So it gives you an idea of how you can use somebody's location in order to segment campaigns and generate better open rates. Next is engagement. This is huge. So here's a pro tip. You want to tag people or move people that are the most active into what is known as a VIP category. And you want to tell them they're in a VIP category. You want to reward them for it. So here's the subject line you can craft. Timmy, you've been promoted to our VIP list. Your reward is inside. Or, Billy, welcome to our VIP list. Here's what to expect. So that way you reward people that are most loyal to your brand, that open your emails often, that click through your emails. You're putting them in a VIP list and you're saying thank you to them. You're essentially creating a membership, a community that they feel like they belong. And that is a powerful segmentation. Next is your welcome series. You can segment people if they're new to your email list. This way they can receive specific emails that give them instructions or tell them what to expect or have some sort of onboarding session allowing them to know what's next. For example, somebody joins your list, you could tell them about what they missed out so far. Send them previous articles, previous videos, even previous copies of your newsletter, of your emails. You could tell them what you're working on next. So a welcome series subject line could sound something like this. Billy, thank you for joining. Start here. Keep it simple. It's within that sweet spot. It's personalized and it builds a degree of curiosity as well. And last, but definitely not least, strategy 4. You want to maintain the health of your subscriber list. Maintain list hygiene. First, by removing inactive subscribers. So let's say you have a list and a group of people who have never opened your email in the last 8 months. You could delete those email addresses. Now, moving on, you want to verify new email addresses. And you can use programs like NeverBounce or Kickbox to make sure these email addresses you receive are legit. You don't really want somebody spamming your website. Best to verify new addresses. And this leads us to the third point. So you want to have a double opt-in list. So what does that mean? Somebody comes to your landing page, they fill out the form, and you get their email address. The next email they get tells them that we received your email address from my landing page, and you need to click here to confirm that it is indeed you who subscribed to our email. Now, personally, I have mixed feelings about double opt-ins. They definitely increase the quality of your list, but at the same time, you will have fewer subscribers, and there will be people on your list that you continuously pursue because they have never confirmed the email address. But at the same time, this prevents bots and spammers from joining your email list. And that's something you want to prevent. These are the 4 strategies we spoke about for how boost your open rates in 2025 and beyond. So first was crafting compelling subject lines. Second was optimizing your syntax. Third was segmenting your list. And fourth was maintaining your list hygiene. Let me know what you think about this video. Comment below if you have any questions, feedback. I'll see you in the next one.